Shalom, 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 shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. All praise, honor, and glory is due. And before I get started, I want to also give double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of Great Millstone, who teach and who rule well, peace, blessings, and safety. To all you sincere Akim, keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or forbear. All right. And I'm just going to be doing a little update, a little update on the news, on the war that's going on between the creation state of Israel and Hamas, all right, the conflict that we are constantly watching, all right, because we know that this conflict will spark World War III, which is also known as Armageddon or Armageddon in the Paleo-Hebrew tongue. All right, we're looking for this because we know that once this begins, all right, once World War III really pops off, that this is the beginning of the end of Esau's rulership and the beginning of the Hebrew Israelites being raised up and being delivered out of Babylon. So I'm just going to read a few news headlines, and we'll go ahead and go from there. There is a new contestant or contender in this battle that's going on over in the Middle East, and it's called Houthi. All right, and they are from Yemen, I believe, and it is believed that they are backed by Iran, which is one of the main enemies of the Western powers. All right, and they are now engaging with United States Armed Forces. So let's go ahead and read a few news headlines, and then I'm going to read a little bit about Houthi. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then, of course, as always, we're going to get some scriptures because that's what it's all about. Lord willing, is edifying to the elect. All right. It says, live updates, Israel-Hamas war. Yemen missile shot down by U.S. fighter aircraft. Let's see. I'll open a new tab. Let's see what it says. We're going to just scroll through, read some of these articles briefly. Okay. Let's see. It says what we're covering. This was updated about an hour ago. All right. I'm on the West Coast. It says update 3:48 East Coast time. So that they're about two or 3 hours ahead of us. So this was updated about an hour ago. It says what we're covering. Twin vehicle ramming attacks in the central Israeli city of Ra'anana have killed one person and injured at least 17, authorities said Monday. The two suspects in the attacks are now in police custody. All right, and as we always go into, who made these things happen, man? Who makes these things happen? All right, let's get a scripture right quick. Amos 3:6, one of my favorite scriptures. All right, and it reads, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Come on. There we go. Shall the trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Should there be evil in the city and the Lord hath not done it? Let's get that in another version. Let's get that in the NLT. Amos 3:6. Yeah, the Lord is the one controlling all these things, man. All right. It says, when the ram's horn blows a warning, shouldn't the people be alarmed? And that's what we're doing. We're blowing that warning. All right. The ram's horn was in history it was a horn that was used to signify danger, evil, enemy troops coming in. All right, and that's what we're doing. We're blowing that what's what I'm looking for? We're blowing that symbolic ram horn. Yep, symbolic. That's the word I'm looking for. We're blowing that symbolic ram horn. All right, pretty much saying, hey, enemy troops are coming, evils are coming. All right, because Esau Edom is going to come in like a flood. All right, it says, shouldn't the people be alarmed? Shouldn't you be taking heed to these warnings that we bringing out each and every single day? It says, does disaster come into a city unless the Lord has planned it? You see? All right, so there you go. The Lord is the one that has planned these evils. All right, and this is just what's happening right here. But we see judgments going out each and every single day. All right, if you watch Elder Hawad on Great Millstone, North Carolina 777, he does daily in the news updates of all the different things going on, all the different gruesome judgments that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is bringing upon the people of the face of the earth, man. All right, you watch those, you see all the stuff that's happening every single day, man. All right. It says, meanwhile, A Houthi anti-ship ballistic missile struck a U.S. cargo ship on Monday. U.S. Central Command said the ship sustained minor damage and reported no injuries. Hamas released a video on the 100th day of war, a milestone that was widely commemorated across Israel, showing 3 Israeli hostages in captivity in Gaza. The Israeli government has not commented on the video. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said nobody will stop us from destroying Hamas as the war in Gaza passed the 100-day mark. He suggested Israel would not comply with the UN's top court where it is accused of genocide. All right. And you know what also this is right here? Okay. So this also is seems like it's the beginning of what's prophesied in the book of Obadiah. Okay? Because according to the prophecies, all of the nations are going to rise up against the daughter of Babylon, okay, which is America. All right, but Israel is America's pretty much hand in hand. All right, that creation state of Israel is pretty much is hand in hand with America. All right, so it says, I'm gonna read that again. It says, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said nobody will stop us from destroying Hamas as the war in Gaza passed the 100-day mark. He suggested Israel, okay, with the creation state of Israel, not the nation, would not comply with the UN's top court where it is accused of genocide. All right, so they're going to create enemies in the United Nations. All right, and that's their main backing. All right, so that beast system, okay, and the beast system is NATO, the EU, all right, the Edomite power structure, the Western power structure. All right, the revival of that Roman Empire. All right, that's the beast. It's gonna fall apart from within. All right, if the Western power structure starts going to war with itself, all right, then then how can a house divided stand? All right, and that's already really happening even with Russia. Okay, Russia joining up with the Eastern forces, which Russia is Eastern, but when I say Eastern, I mean like the Arab forces, Iran, okay, joining up with China, all right, North Korea, all right. This is because Russia is an Edomite nation as well, all right. That's gonna cause that huge ripple in their power structure, all right. And this is all the plans of the Lord, because the Lord is pretty much gonna set these heathens against each other. All right, and they're going to destroy each other. All right, there's not going to be any winners in World War III. But let's go ahead and get that prophecy I was speaking of in Obadiah. All right, pretty much the all the nations are going to turn against this great whore. Okay, the daughter of Babylon. All right, America and Israel once again is tied heavily to not the actual Israelites, but the creation state of Israel is tied heavily to America. That's the reason why we send so much of our tax money over there to aid people who are already rich. All right. And a lot of people that are in our government structure are 1948ers. All right. Let's go ahead and get this. This is Obadiah. There's only one chapter. So I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All right. And we know that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is exposing all the wickedness and lies, deceit, all right, that Esau has been brought out, all right, that he's done. All right, all his dirt, okay, is being uncovered, his shame. It says, all the men of the confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Even, it says, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. All right, and what's that going into? Okay, all the nations. Let's go ahead and get it. All the nations, it says that, I'm going to read that part again, verse 7. It's important to remember, all the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. All right. So Esau had a confederacy with all the nations, all right, to destroy the children of Israel. Okay, Psalms 83rd chapter. Okay, it says, verse 1, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. Okay, Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father in the Paleo-Hebrew tongue. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They have consulted together with one consent. they are confederate against thee. You see, that's the same confederacy that's getting ready to turn on Esau now. All right. This is the nations. It says the tabernacles of Edom. Okay, Esau, Edom's a so-called white man. All right, and the 1948ers who are calling themselves Jews. All right, the JOOs. All right, the Jewish people. Okay, they are from Amalek. All right, Amalek is the chief grandson of Esau, the chief nation of Esau. That's the reason why they control everything. They have the wealth, the riches. Okay, they control the media. All right, because they are the chief nation of Esau. All right, and who the world knows as Lucifer. All right, Lucifer represents their elites, the illuminated ones. It says the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites. The Ishmaelites are the Arabs. Okay, it says of Moab, which is the Chinese, and Hagarenes. I believe Hagarenes are Hamites, but I'm not exactly sure on that. Don't quote me. It says Gabal and Ammon. Ammon is Japanese, and Amalek. And we just read Amalek, the 1948ers. It says the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, or Tyre, Salakia, which is Tyre is Hamite nations. Okay, Canaanites. It says Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. Okay. So they have made a confederacy against the children of Israel, against the children of the righteous. All right. That's what this is going into. But now that confederacy is getting ready to break apart. And that's what we see here. Okay. It says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said nobody will stop us from destroying Hamas as the war in Gaza passed the 100-day mark. He suggested Israel will not comply with the UN's top court where it is accused of genocide. So if Israel goes up against the EU, not Slovakia, the UN, all right, the United Nations, then that's gonna cause a divide, a ripple within their power structure. All right, because then different nations are gonna have to start choosing sides. And what's happening too is that all the nations are starting to look at America and the creation state of Israel with a side eye. All right, they're looking at them like, wow, look at how wicked these people are, because people all over the world are seeing how twisted and evil they are treating the Palestinians. All right, which we know is just judgment from the Lord, because a lot of people don't realize this, but before the transatlantic slave trade, there was the Arab slave trade. All right, so it's all judgment from the Lord. Every nation is going to be recompensed for their wickedness. This is Nahum, the 3rd chapter, in verse 5. And it says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Let's get that in the NLT. All right, so that's talking about these Edomites, man. All right, and that prophecy was really, I believe it was going into Nineveh at that time. Okay, and Nineveh was the chief nation of Assyria. All right, but here in America, okay, today, this also represents spiritual Nineveh. All of the different kingdoms that had the Israelites in captivity, all right, they all had different representations of different things. All right, America encapsulates all of those different kingdoms. All right, so this is spiritual Nineveh. This is spiritual Egypt. Okay, this is spiritual Babylon. All right. Spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah. Nahum 3 and 5. All right, the NLT, and it reads, I am your enemy, says the Lord of heaven's armies. And now I will lift your skirts and show all the earth your nakedness and shame. All right, and that's what's happening. Okay, everybody's side-eyeing Esau. Like, look at this devil, man. Look at the evil, the wickedness. Even Edomites are looking at Edomites like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord is just, like I said, man, the Lord is exposing all the dirt and the evil. Nobody wants to be an Edomite right now. It's not popular. Versus, 50 years ago, everybody thought that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, was the pinnacle of morality. All right. He had everybody thinking, but it says in the scriptures, it says, for even the devil transforms himself as an angel of light. All right. And that's how he transformed himself. And he literally blasphemed. He literally changed the images of the Heavenly Father, of the saints, okay, who are the Israelites, of the angels, okay, of the Son, everything of heaven. He blasphemed, changed the images, took the name away. All right. All these things, man. Let's keep rolling. Let's go back. I'm going to get another article. Israel-Hamas war live updates. Houthi missile fired at U.S. warship in Red Sea 22 minutes ago. Okay, I'm just going to briefly read. It says it was updated 59 minutes ago, live coverage. The death toll in Gaza passed 24,000, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry, as the war passed the 100-day mark. Okay, it says a U.S. fighter jet shot down an anti-cruise missile fired toward an American destroyer in the Red Sea from Houthi militant-controlled areas of Yemen. The U.S. military has said the first attack by the Iran-backed rebels after American-led strikes will add fears to regional escalation after deadly new clashes on Israel's northern border with Lebanon. All right, so, and Lebanon has Hezbollah, okay, and they're also been going back and forth with the creation state of Israel. All right, so you got Gaza, which that's a complete genocide. I mean, they don't, Hamas, they are taking out a lot of those Israeli soldiers, but they don't really have the advanced weaponry and all that the Israelis have. But then you got Hezbollah on the northern side, okay, of Israel, and then you have now Yemen, okay, Houthi. All right, they're going up against the United States, and once again, it's believed that Houthi is backed by Iran. All right, and we're gonna read about that a little bit. I got that pulled up. All right, this is the Houthi movement. It says the Houthi movement, officially known as Ansar Allah, is a Shia Islamist political and military organization that emerged from Yemen in the 1990s. It says it is predominantly made up of Zaidi Shias, with their namesake leadership being drawn largely from the Houthi tribe. Okay, I did some quick just Google search. It says, what are the Houthis fighting for? The Houthis deny being puppets of Tehran. I don't even know what Tehran is. Let's get a definition on that. Tehran is the capital city of Iran. All right, Tehran is the capital and largest city of Iran and the largest city in Tehran province. All right, it says it also serves as the capital of the province, county, and the central district, with a population of around 9 million in the city and around 16 million in the larger metropolitan area of Greater Tehran. Tehran is the most populous city in Iran and Western Asia, and has the second largest metropolitan area in the Middle East after Cairo. It is ranked 24th in the world by metropolitan area population. All right, so it's a large city. All right, the capital city of Iran. So it's saying that people they're denying that they are tied to Iran, but most likely they are. The Arab nations stick together for the most part. It says still, Feuerstein cautions that the Houthi defiance of the United States and its allies helps burnish their brand in the Middle East, a concern shared by some current U.S. officials. It says, who supports Houthis in Yemen? Iran is widely accused of backing the Houthis, a Zaidi Shiite movement that has been fighting Yemen's Sunni majority government since 2004. Okay, I see. Yeah, the Sunni versus the Shia is Muslims. All right, but looks like they're getting in the mix with this Israeli war. All right, I'm reading this. It says, is U.S. at war with Houthi? The ongoing conflict between the United States and Iran-backed militias began in late 2023. So, in the past few months, it includes the U.S. Navy fighting against drone attacks on American warships and other vessels by armed groups of the Houthi movement. All right, there you go. So they are engaging, all right? They are engaging. And as time goes on, more of the Arab nations are going to engage, okay, in this war that's going on in the Middle East. And it's all part of the prophecies. Let's go ahead and bring those out a little bit. Joel, the 3rd chapter. Okay, Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. All right, Judah, the southern kingdom, okay, so-called Negroes, and the northern kingdom, Jerusalem, all right, which is so-called Latinos and Native American Indians. It says, verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. All right, because that creation state of Israel, you have the Christians got a section over there, you got the Muslims have a section over there, you got the Jewish people got a section over there. All right, and they've completely displaced the actual inhabitants of that land, all right, which are today the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, but they were scattered long, long ago. All right, you have the Northern Kingdom that was brought to the Americas, all right, which in the Bible is spoken of as Arsareth in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. All right, they came during the time of the Assyrian captivity. All right, under I think Salamanzar or something like that. I can't remember exactly the name. But then you had the Southern Kingdom that was pushed out in 70 A.D. All right, and they fled into Africa and scattered all over Africa, but primarily West Africa, where they were picked up as slaves. All right, where the Canaanites, the Hamite nations, helped the Europeans and the Arabs to pretty much capture them and sell them off into slavery. All right, and it goes into that a little bit in this chapter. All right, Joel chapter 3 and verse 4. It says, "Yea, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?" All right, once again, these are Hamite nations, so-called Africans today, and all the coasts of Palestine. All right, because little do people know, Palestine was originally inhabited by the Canaanites, all right, which are African nations. Okay, that area, the people that are there right now, obviously are invaders. All right, it wasn't inhabited by the Arabs before, nor the 1948ers. All right, it was inhabited by the Canaanites. Now, the modern day Jordan, that's where the Edomites came from, I believe. That's where, let's see, their capital city back then was called Petra. Yep, it's in Jordan. Okay, and actually, let's see, if you look at this. What does that look like? Okay, this looks like the Colosseums of ancient Rome and Greece. All right, so it's the same people. Okay, they migrated and they came into power. The Edomites first came into power under a man named Alexander the Great. All right, you can read about this in the book of 1 Maccabees chapter 1, and it lines up with secular history. Okay, now, but anyways, let's get back on topic. Okay, Joel, the 3rd chapter. This is the whole purpose of all this fiasco that's going on. Okay, Joel, the 3rd chapter. It says, verse 4. "Yea, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if you will recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians." All right, and who are the Grecians? All right, that's speaking of the Greeks. Okay, and today that would be the Greeks and the Romans. Their ancestors are the modern, so-called white people today. All right, we were captured by these different African nations, and we were sold into slavery. Okay, to the Europeans. They actually made a movie about this. That movie is called The Woman King. Okay, the Dahomey tribe, I believe it was. They were the slave catchers. Okay, let's see. Yep, here it is. What is the Dahomey tribe known for? The Dahomey was a highly militaristic society, organized for warfare. It engaged in wars and raids against neighboring nations and sold captives into the Atlantic slave trade in exchange for European goods such as rifles, gunpowder, fabrics, cowrie shells, tobacco pipes, and alcohol. Okay, so this is let's see, that movie Woman King was made about this. Okay, and it's really like they're spitting in the Israelites' face, because they know exactly who we are. All right, see, it says this is the plot. In the 1800s, a group of all-female warriors protects the African kingdom of Dahomey with skills and fierceness unlike anything the world has ever seen. Faced with a new threat, General Naniska trains the next generation of recruits to fight against a foreign enemy that's determined to destroy their way of life. All right. Now, I saw the movie, but so in this movie, they're playing them out to be the heroes, but in reality, they were actually a big part of us. They sold us to the Europeans. All right, sold us into slavery. All right, for this, the Lord is going to bring swift recompense upon them. Okay, I'm going to read that verse 6 again. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them up out of the place whither you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. All right, and that's what's getting ready to happen. Okay, the World War III is going to pop off. All of these heathen nations are going to be destroyed, and the ones that remain are going to be taken to captivity. All right, let's get that. Jeremiah, the 30th chapter. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 16. It says, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. You see? Let's go to Amos, the 1st chapter. It goes into the judgments of these different nations. All right, look at this. Amos chapter 1 and verse 9. It says, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, once again, Tyre and Zidon, okay, the Canaanites, so-called Africans today, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom. All right, delivered up the whole captivity to Edom. Okay, once again, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the Grecians. All right, and remember not the brotherly covenant, but I will send a fire on the wall of Tyrus, which shall devour the palaces thereof. All right, and look at this. Now, Edom, we already know their punishment. We go into it all the time. Thus saith the Lord. Okay, this is verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. And they still have wrath against us, man. All right, we're still being oppressed by this devil. All right, we are not set free. We still first one's fired, last one's hired, at the bottom of society, living in the ghettos, the hoods, the barrios. All right, and a lot of people ain't gonna like my language, but this is what it is, man. All right, the Bible tells you what's going on in reality. Okay, and reality doesn't show that we're all equal, we're all brothers in Christ. Okay, as the Christians say. All right, the Lord has created different nations, and we are separate from other nations. That's the reason why they make sure that we know that. That's why they keep us at the bottom, and that's part of our punishment. The Lord is allowing it to happen. All right, and I think it said that in Jeremiah the 30th chapter. Actually, it does. So I'll come back to this. Jeremiah the 30th chapter, in verse 15, it says, actually, let's see, verse 12. Okay, Jeremiah 30 and 12. For thus saith the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee, they seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, did these things unto the children of Israel, okay, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, he sent these evil nations against us, but it was because of our iniquity. That's why it's important to read the accounts of the Old Testament. You read what happened and how our people went off, our forefathers, all right, and now the Lord has brought us back into remembrance of these things, okay? Actually, matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that. All right, because this is where Christians err, not knowing the scriptures, because they don't understand the origin story and why we need a savior in the first place. Okay, the Lord is not coming to save the slaves and the slave master. All right, that doesn't make sense. That's the reason why it says Israel shall dwell alone, and we're gonna go ahead and get that soon. This is Malachi the 3rd chapter. All right, in verse 16, it says, "Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name." All right, and that book of remembrance is us coming back to the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Okay, we understand who we are, why we went off, how we went off, and why we got punished, and why we are still in our captivity to this day. All right, this Bible is about the history, okay, of the children of Israel, okay, which today consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, them, you know, being the blessed nation of the Lord, going off against the Lord, being punished, and then the redemption that is to come. That's what the Bible is about. All right. And that redemption cannot come where, like I said, where the slaves and the slave master go to the same place. It's not going to happen. All right. The slaves, which is us, all right, we're going to go into the kingdom of heaven just like Lazarus, and the slave master is going to be trodden down, and he's going to go into captivity. All right. He's going to go into hell and the lake of fire, just like the rich man in the parable of Lazarus, Luke, the 16th chapter. But look at this. This is Isaiah chapter 10. Let me see. Salakia, bear with me. All right, Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. All right, so we can't stay upon those who smote us. All right, a lot of you 2/3, man, you want to save the white man. You want to save these heathen nations. They don't give a damn about you, man. They plotted against you. They want to destroy you. They don't want to see you know that you're an Israelite, because they don't want to see you return back to your power, return back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and you trying to save them. All right, if it was up to them, they would love to see you in captivity at the bottom of society. That ain't the way it's supposed to be. Okay, America is not our rest. It's our punishment. All right, this world is not our rest. This is our punishment. And the Christians, the whole point of Christianity, Catholicism, and all these other religions is they don't want you to understand this. All right, they want you to stay a part of the matrix. They want you to stay a part of this system and be content being slaves. And that's not what this is. The Lord is not with that, man. Okay, that's not the plans of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The Wadi Yahweh, the Wadi Yahushai, for giving us this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. All right, let's close out with this. 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. All right, and Lord willing, this is edifying, man. 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. And we're gonna read what's gonna happen to these different nations. All right. It says, 2nd Ezra 15 and 20. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. To who? To the children of Israel, the chosen, the elect. You see, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also in recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, because we're still in this devil's hand, man. All right, it says, my right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. All right, the sinners, okay, my right hand shall not spare the sinners of our people. Okay, 2/3 of our people, he's not going to spare them. And my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. Esau, Edom, okay, the wicked, and these heathen nations, man, but primarily Esau, Edom. The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and hath consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children from the power, defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For Yahweh shall not deliver you, because you have sinned against him. This is talking to the 2/3 of our people. All right. But going back up, okay, behold, saith Yahweh, verse 20, I will call together all the kings of the earth, okay, from the east to the west, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. It says all the kings of the earth. All right. So this is World War III that we're talking of. Okay. Going back down to verse 28. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. It says, verse 28, behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also their Carminians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. All right, once again, this is spiritual Assyria as well. Then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of their Syrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread, and strife among their kings. All right, now it's just going to keep going. But anyways, anyways, man, it's going into pretty much the judgment. All right, once again. But I'm going to close out, man. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect, wherever you may be scattered across the four winds of heaven, the four corners of the earth. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Shalom.